What is going on, everyone? And this time I want to take a look at the topic about why your iPhone won't connect to a Wi-Fi. So let's just get started. Okay, so I don't want to beat around the bush, so let's start with the first step, and that is, of course, to turn off and on your Wi-Fi. Of course, if you're using an iPhone, the thing in the control center only turns the Bluetooth white, which means that it has disconnected it for like 1 hour or so. So you really have to go back and open up the settings and manually turn it off right here, just like that. This is how you turn it off. I mean, it doesn't really make a lot of sense, but anyways. By the way, these steps may seem to be a little bit easier. I mean, there are some of the easier, there are some more difficult things to do, but overall these are just the only things that you can do in case your Wi-Fi doesn't work or you have problems and you struggle to connect to your desired Wi-Fi network. So then you can of course go ahead and turn on and off the airplane mode, which is going to do the pretty much the same thing. It just turns off and on the Wi-Fi. So this should already solve the problem for a lot of people, but I know that not for everyone, of course. Before you even begin doing anything, make sure you turn off the VPN in case you use it. I know it's not directly connected to it, but it's just always better to simplify things and not to make everything so complicated when you're trying to solve a problem, so definitely turn it off. If turning off and on the Wi-Fi did not work, then of course restart the entire iPhone by holding on the power button and the lower volume button, of course, depending on the device that you have. Okay, if you see that your iPhone has like a general problem with connectivity and perhaps you also have problem with your cellular data or with the internet in general, then you can try resetting the network settings. You have to open up the settings, of course, go to the general section, and you can see reset all the way at the bottom, and this one in the middle stands for reset network settings. And all it does is just resets all of your Wi-Fi passwords, which means that you're not going to be connected automatically to any of those networks from the past. You will basically have to type in the password of every single network, of every single Wi-Fi, and yeah, you know everything that comes to it, but perhaps this could solve your problem as well. By the way, I want to say that if this is your first video from me, if this is the first one that you have found from my channel, then don't hesitate and click on the subscribe button. It's the red one. Subscribing is free, of course, and that is gonna do the one thing. It's just gonna keep you updated and it's just gonna make sure that you don't miss future content. The next useful tip is to simply forget the network. So in the Wi-Fi section, you have to click on this little eye next to it, and the first option is actually to ignore this network, to ignore this Wi-Fi. So you simply can actually turn it on, just click it, and then of course you have to click on the Wi-Fi network once again, enter the password if necessary, and then wait to see if this has solved the problem. The next step to do, I actually lost count on which step it is actually, but this doesn't really matter. The next thing to do is to simply take a look at something else. The problem doesn't necessarily have to be in your phone, which means that perhaps the Wi-Fi router has some sort of flaw or problem going on. So you can just turn it off and on just like you would normally do. Of course, wait before turning it back on and wait until everything is prepared and loaded completely, and then try pairing or connecting your iPhone once again to that network. One very uncommon thing that could also happen is that your device is actually blocked and doesn't have access to that network, and this could be done or set up using the web browser and using the website like 192.168 and this kind of stuff. If you type it into your PC browser, you can actually get to this administrator website for your Wi-Fi router, and there you can tweak and modify many things, and it could theoretically happen that your device is simply blocked or it doesn't have any access to that network. So make sure to maybe reset the settings completely of the Wi-Fi router. So like I said, the next step would be to reset the router completely. You can use it, like I said, using the website, which is, the link is included in the box. You should know about it, of course. By default, the username is admin and the password is completely the same. Unless you change that, you shouldn't really have a problem with getting inside. into the back side of the router, and there you can reset it by clicking on the reset button. Or if you want to do it physically using hardware, on the back side of most routers there is some sort of reset button that you either have to hold for about 15 seconds or so, or you can use some sort of toothpick to simply stick it somewhere and it should do the job. I mean, depending on the type and version of your router, you should be able to reset it. Okay, once you find out that the router is okay, that everything is set up, and your iPhone still struggles to find and connect to a network, then perhaps try to use a different phone or a different device and try to connect it to that certain network. If it works, then you know that the problem is somewhere in between your iPhone and that Wi-Fi. I mean, you don't know where exactly or what's going on, but if other devices don't really have any problem and can connect to that Wi-Fi without any hesitation, I mean, then you probably know where the problem is. And like I say, if you know that the problem is between your iPhone and your Wi-Fi network, then try to use the very same iPhone but with a different Wi-Fi network. So you know that the problem is not in the connection between these two. So if your iPhone manages to connect to some sort of external Wi-Fi network, perhaps to the one of your friend or some public network, then you know that your iPhone is capable of doing that, and you simply know that the fault is not in your iPhone. But if you get to this point, you try out a couple of things and your iPhone still doesn't connect, then the problem is very likely in your phone, in the hardware. And that means that you simply have to go bring it to the Apple Store or to your local repair and simply replace the not functioning parts and make it work again. It's not that big of a deal, it's not gonna be too expensive, but you have to know where the problem is at first. So this was pretty much it. I wanted to say that if you liked this video, if you found that these steps helpful, or perhaps you tried something out that you didn't expect to work and it worked, then leave a thumbs up on this video, subscribe for more videos, for more similar content in the future, and see you guys later. Have a nice day and peace out.